So how many of you like sports like since you were a little kid, like growing up? Okay, so a lot of you. So I was the opposite. I hated sports when I was a little kid. Like it was not something I liked at all. My dad tried hard to get me to like sports. Like I remember when I was about like 4 years old and I played t-ball. I hated it. He tried to get me to like the sport, and I remember I just went up there and hit the ball, and I was like, I don't want to be here. And he basically was telling me just to go get on the base. So I got mad at him and went and picked up the base and threw it at him. Yeah, that wasn't so great. So yeah, he loved sports, and he always was very great with sports and stuff. So he wanted that same thing for me. He wanted something that we could bond over and share. So going into my first grade year, my dad unfortunately passed, and it was tough for me. My first grade teacher basically told me, because I had very bad ADHD, that was never going to be able to learn right, that I was going to need to take special classes. Basically told my mom that, and basically said that I was never going to be able to actually learn and get anywhere with my life, basically. So my mom told me that, and I was very upset. So I've used that to work hard going forward, and that teacher has basically been a reminder for me to not give up and basically prove her wrong. And so growing up, I was never really good at sports. I tried baseball, had terrible hand-eye coordination. Basketball, I couldn't really dribble, but I was a decent shooter. Soccer, I was always on the lower teams than my friends. I remember there was one soccer game where the goalie got hurt for the team, and so I was volunteered to play because they had no more goalies. And I went in the net, made a great save, and everyone was cheering me on. And I went to kick the ball and ended up kicking it back into my own net. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. So yeah, never really great at sports, but after my dad passed, my mom used sports to try to get me to like it. It was something we could bond over, and I started getting into it and liking it, so it became a passion of mine. And I really love sports, and it's just a thing I've always loved. And so growing up, it was my senior year. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. It was April, and I was kind of I don't know what I want to do. And so I remember going to a Red Sox game with my mom and just talking to her in general. And I remember a player coming up to bat for the Red Sox, and I was just analyzing the game in my head, not even something I really thought about. And I remember being to my mom, in this count, I feel right here, if they throw him this certain pitch, he's gonna hit a home run. And then he ended up hitting a home run on that pitch, and my mom looked at me how did you know that? And I was it's just the way I can analyze the game. And so that player came up later in the game again, and I was same situation. If they give him this certain pitch in this count, he's gonna hit a home run. And he did the exact same thing again. And my mom was in shock, and she's you should be a broadcaster. You should do something in sports, because your knowledge is very great, and that's something your dad had too. So that's what I decided to do, and that's what brought me here today.
Questions for Tyler?
What's your favorite sports to watch?
Baseball, definitely. It's a sport I've connected with the most, and yeah, it's definitely a sport I love the most.
Favorite baseball memory or game that you wish you had been at? Both.
That's tough. Probably, I'd say Game 6 of the 2013 ALCS between the Tigers and Red Sox. It was when Shane Victorino hit the grand slam, and then they clinched. I remember calling my mom on the phone. She was at a bar with one of her friends. And I remember when they clinched that game, I was screaming, because the Red Sox had been so bad the year before, and I thought this team's never gonna be good. So I was I remember telling her the year before, because I was such a young kid, that I was basically telling her I'm never gonna witness a World Series or anything, because they always suck, and this is gonna suck forever. And then they never of winning, so that was amazing.
What would you do if you made a significant mistake at your future job that went unnoticed?
I'd probably try and learn from it, not let it take me down, learn what I did wrong and process it, and then use that moving forward, and the next time that similar situation comes up, make sure I don't make that mistake.
Talk about some of your weaknesses and what you're doing to improve them.
Some of my weaknesses, I would say, is focus sometimes. Like I talked about, ADHD was one of my big problems. And once in a while, procrastination. I'm trying to work on that. But overall, it's just trying to find the mistakes I make and be better for myself, and not let them bother me.
And what improvements have you seen in yourself through this semester?
Definitely, this class has helped me with speaking. Like, before this class, like, especially in high school and stuff, whenever I do presentations and stuff, I was always terrible. Like, I would always mess up or stutter a lot. Like, I still do a lot, and I still get nervous, but I kind of have been getting better at, like, being able to process things and being able to speak in public, and it's definitely this school and this class in general has helped me a lot, like, get out of my shell and become a better version of myself.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you've improved tremendously with your public speaking since the beginning of the semester. Great.
Thank you.
Feedback from Tyler.